Sandringham by a very healthy 38 points. Adam Sarikoglu, and to start the third term is Darren Parkin.
Majak Dor and Paddy Ryder to take the opening bounce of the second half. Dor reaches a long way forward, gets the hand pass down towards Dunstan, who bounces it up towards half forward. The hand pass was smothered coming out of defence there. It's picked up by Hodgson. And eventually it's squeezed out wide. Running hard after the football there is Lewis. Couldn't gather it cleanly. Just paddled it down towards a teammate. It's kicked up towards the wing position. Good contest by Carey to split the pack, but it falls to White, who chips it to half forward, where it's taken there by Moniz Wakefield. Chips it inside. Mark spilt by Brown. Gets it out by hand towards Howes, who floats it off the outside of the boot, where Paddy Ryder takes the mark at centre half back. Sandringham will cut through the middle of the ground via Leo Connolly. Always a good kick of the footy, and that was no exception. Fed it towards Geary. It goes down towards Kent. Turns his opponent inside out. On the left foot, pulls the kick beautifully, and Leo Connolly kept on running and gets himself into a little pocket of space and will line up from 45 metres.
He was the leading ball getter on the ground for Sandringham in the first half with the 13 touches. A lot of them down back, though, so he's moved forward and already having an impact. He's
a very neat kick of the football, hailing from Trafalgar in central Gippsland. Hopefully that hasn't put the moz on him. Kicked the goal at AFL level last year in his second game, and that hits the post. To the left-hand goal post. 5-4-34 Sandringham. Casey 11-5-71. Margin 37 points.
Baker has it in the goal square for Casey. Take another 10-15 metres, take a bounce, and eventually go towards the outer side. It's in Paddy Ryder sort of territory. Came to ground. Malcolm laying a strong tackle to force the stoppage in the ends. It's almost on centre wing. The man that was dumped in the tackle was Marcus Windhager. Dor against Ryder in the ruck. I'll give that one to Ryder. Didn't quite get it down to full advantage, though. Owens now will be eventually taken out of play. No, he stayed in and managed to get a kick away. It didn't go too far, but apparently 13 or 15 metres, according to the umpire. And Baker is paid the mark in the end on that outer side.
Looks inboard. He might stick to the outer side after not finding what he likes. Goes towards Majak Dor. Kick had too much carry on it. Mark taken comfortably centre half back. The Zebras will go down the line again. Long ball there from Seaton. It's punched over the back. Tracking after it close to the boundary line there was Baker. And it goes over for a throw-in. 70 around from Sandringham's goal, doing the early attacking in the second half. Leo Connolly with those two possessions jumping up to 15 to lead all comers on the ground. It's a relatively shallow throw-in. A little bit of a tangle between the two ruckmen on that occasion. Charging through. Low, flat kick at goal goes across the face from Donnell and one behind Hodgson it was. 5-5-35 to 11-5-71. Margin at 36 points.
Not out of it completely, Sandringham, but they do need to get a move on in this third quarter. Oscar Baker again. Has no interest in coming to this near side. So it's a carbon copy of the last kick in. Just without the running bounce. Dor and Ryder underneath. Ryder in front, couldn't take the mark. Then attacked the contest pretty hard, did Paddy Ryder. Windhager eventually emerging with the ball out to Geary. He did kick a goal in the first quarter, not far away from this spot. It was on its way and touched through right on that last line for a minor score. So that's 3 early behinds to start this third quarter for Sandringham. Baker again for the third time will go toward the outer side. Longer kick, Dor. Got a bit of a jump there on Ryder. Couldn't take it. As the ball's being tracked toward the line, it does stay in play. Could never really gather it there. Good Van Ruyen. We've got a stoppage on the outer wing. It'll be Ryder and Dor. Ryder got a hand on it. Munro under some pressure, gives it up to Geary. The Zebras will clear out. The kick will go along the boundary line as it crossed over, though. The umpire's put his arm up to indicate a boundary throw-in, I think. So it took a bounce and then went out of play.
A few whistles we're hearing off in the distance from the other games of football that are being played around the precinct. So sometimes that can be a touch unsettling. Sandringham looking to get reward from flurry of attacks. They kicked 3 behinds to start this quarter. It's a long road back. Just trying to stabilise the contest around the grounds. North Melbourne 7-10-52, lead West Coast 4-5-29 at AFL level midway through the third quarter of that round 2 clash. A bit of holding in the ruck contest. Sandringham free kick. Advantage is paid. Ball will get hand passed in towards Hodgson, or at least that was the plan. He was run down holding the ball. Windhager on the outer side. It'll be a Casey free kick. The ball is chipped towards the leading player in Dunstan. He takes the mark. Taken pick 19 by St Kilda back in the 2013 draft. And they'll cross all the way towards the broadcast side. Allison has it in the back pocket. He'll chip it over the top. Some good hard running there to Smith. Smith will chip it down the line again. And good mark taken by Melksham. Under a fair bit of pressure from Lewis. Kept his eyes on it the whole way. Brings it into the corridor effectively. The ball will get fed by hand to Dunstan, who kept on running. He'll drive it long towards a contest at the top of the square. Ryder with a big fist. Hodgson at the back. Driving low ball. Mark taken out here by McHale. McHale will move it on quickly. Good use of the body. Good strong mark taken by Lohman. Has it on our broadcast wing. He'll look into the corridor. And plenty of space to work in there for Locke, who takes the mark. Beside the centre circle. Tries to find the leading target there in Heath, who was nudged under it slightly. Well done there by Kyle. It's taken away, though, by Casey on the outer side. The McVie sharing that hand pass out. And now they drive it towards Brown, who marks again.
Mark number 9 for the game. For the highest ranked player on the ground. Effective kick finding Blake Howes. He'll eventually be told to hurry up. Gets on with it. Inside 50, Paddy Ryder's in the hole. Taking a relieving mark for the Zebras. He'll go back across goal. The skipper, Seaton. Next in the chain, Hennis. Could have gone to hip well. Decides to hand pass over the top instead. The running bounce and the kick forward by Milne. Can't quite hit a target. Demons ball once more. Allison. Marks taken by Goonan inside the centre square. Runners on this near side. Luke Dunstan being one of them. Stays stood exactly where he marked it. He'll be asked to hurry up now. Majak to the target, puts up the mitts. It goes through the hands though. Allison working back, one way to the other. Hand pass to Ryder, back to Allison. He'll look to chip. That's a dangerous ball if it's not marked. It's a 2-on-2 now. Josiah Kyle couldn't take it. It was a good effort to try and take the slips catch, but we've now got a stoppage in the hot spot here.
Got to be precise with those. Allison opting to go back into the corridor. Quick kick out of there by Owens, up towards the wing position. Hennis was tracking towards it, but getting there first was Wiedemann. Casey will pull this one into the corridor, keeping his eyes on it and marking it well was Rosman. 55 metres out. Another left footer in this lineup. There are quite a few as he drives that one towards the pocket, mishit it completely, and it goes out of bounds on the full. Geary, the last line of defence. Sticking to the outer side. Using the body well there was Wiedemann, takes the mark on the second attempt. Underneath shade sails on the hill. He'll hit this one up towards the hot spot again. Pack of players converge. It comes over the back, outside of the boot. Hurried shot at goal there from Moniz. Wakefield goes away to the left. And one behind, 11-6-72 to Casey. Sandringham 5-6-36. Margin 36 points, approaching 10 minutes in the third term.
Allison kicking in. Not the best option, but all works out in the end for Sandringham. It comes out wide. Bain unable to take the mark. Arriving very late was Woe Woden. He affected the contest. Neutralised the footy.
Dangerfield now blitz halves uncertain.
Now Jack Dorr just having a quick chat with the runners. Runners are allowed out in open play here in the VFL. Andrew throw in, falling pretty well short of where the two rucks were. They both did get at the fall, though. Munro claims immediately, got dumped in the tackle. Holding the man, says the umpire. A free kick here for James Munro. Having a good day today, coming up for disposal number 17.
Game pretty even on the stat sheet. Inside 50s 30 to 29. Clearances 21 to 20. Both in favour of Casey.
Munro wants to blaze away from outside the arc here. Just improves the angle ever so slightly. It's going to be a set-up kick toward the top of the square. Wiedemann affecting the contest, but he couldn't take the mark. It's available at ground level if someone can extract it. Doonan was tangled up and eventually umpire calls for a ball up.
Casey plus 20 in disposals.
Off the ground, that's a goal. An opportune goal for Mitch White. That's his second. Margin is out to 42 points in favour of the Demons.
They land the first goal after an arm wrestle. From a Zebra's point of view, at least turning it into an arm wrestle stemmed the bleeding a little bit, but they needed to strike first, and it was Casey who have just simply been cleaner with ball in hand the whole way through. As we say, a lot of those statistics pretty even around clearance, around inside 50, around disposals, uncontested and contested, but just doing a little bit more with it when they have those opportunities. In the ruck, it's 22 hitouts to 17 in favour of Sandringham. Clearances 21-20 in favour of Casey. But the game won on efficient use of the ball and opening up that forward line. Casey have been the far cleaner. And Max Heath takes his turn in the ruck, as does Jacob Van Rooyen. That one to Heath. Windhager in there over the ball, trying to flick that hand pass out. The clearance is going to be won, though, by Laurie. Stepping back inside Howes. Chips it into Van Rooyen, not far from where he contested the ruck. Takes the mark inside the centre square. Kicks up towards a leading target there. You had both Wiedemann and also Brown in that contest. Good work by Heath to feed that hand pass. Kick had too much on it. Mark was spilt, though, by Gray. Running through there was Locke, just trying to paddle the ball out in front of himself. Windhager's hand pass cut off by Melksham, who steps through a couple of tackles. Ball eventually fed through towards Dunstan, who's had a busy quarter. Gets it through towards Moniz Wakefield. Feeds it wider again to Baker. Baker towards the leading target in Brown, who takes yet another mark. And running hard over the top into space to get on the end of the next one. And take the mark was Howes, who's got it in the pocket. 40 metres out. 45-degree angle. Far side of Casey Fields, attacking to the left of screen. Again, just that ability to keep finding targets by foot under pressure. Blake Howes. On the approach. Strikes it out to the right-hand side and one behind only. So 12-7-79 to the Casey Demons. Sandringham 5-6-36, 43-point margin.
Connolly short to Allison. And turns it over. Well, that's how this one's played out today for Sandringham. Bedford finishes it. You're left scratching your head just wondering exactly what Matthew Allison was thinking.
Yeah, and he's had 3 near misses in the quarter. He had one where he missed Kyle, who had a good attempt to try to save it. He kicked one over the head of Connolly on one occasion, and then that one missing him completely. So you don't mind players backing themselves, but you just wonder whether the coach goes out and gets a runner out there and says, mate, just put that one away for a while until you get your confidence up. Maybe long down the line is the safer bet in that play.
2 goals, 1 now for Toby Bedford. 10 touches for the day. The margin is 49 points.
And that's a couple of quick goals to Casey, who have re-established that dominance. Sandringham looking to keep this respectable. Heath favoured by the bounce. Hurried kick forward out of that contest by the Sandringham side. McHale to no avail, and Casey will work this up the wing. Woden finds Van Rooyen, who goes into the corridor. Nice ball there towards Goonan, who takes the mark. And he'll go straighter again, and the good mark keeping his eyes on the ball and pushing out there was Munro, who's been pretty busy. And again, he's got Brown into a leading lane. Couldn't take the mark that time, one of the rare occasions that he did spill it. Still got an opportunity, though, to step through. Kick was smothered nicely, though, by Owens. And then out wide, it's escorted over by Matthew Ellison for a throw-in outer side forward pocket.
Ethan Ruck against Wiedemann. Got in front, but couldn't get it down to advantage. Eventually, Sandringham will emerge. The kick out wide from Hodgson's okay. Marked by Bain. Donnell to the wing for Kent. Takes it nicely. Has the runner available by hand in Windhager. He'll go towards half forward. 2-on-1 here for Casey. It wouldn't have mattered had Cody Hennis held onto the ball, but it's gone out of play. It's been a dirty day for Sandringham. Casey, we're in pretty good form in season 2021 with that 7-2 record. Windhager, it's been busy today, sending it toward the goal square. No mark could be taken there by Carey. Umpire says holding the ball. Free kick, Demons.
Up to 13 touches, Marcus Windhager. Had a few in this quarter, I think 6 in the third in all so far. And the Demons via Woden link up by hand. And now a dinky little ball over the top towards Dunstan. Dunstan kick towards that hard-running Van Rooyen. And the boundary line will win the day as Nick Hodgson comes across and helps that one over. Approaching 18 minutes in this quarter. One stage it was 4 goals to 3, now 13 goals to 5. So Casey assuming total control. Heath and Dorr. Good use of the body by Dorr, but in the end neither ruckman could get a hand to it. Owens received from Kent, chips towards half forward. Good strong mark taken by Baker at defensive 50. He's ended up kicking that in between about 3 players and miscalculated that option, and Heath takes the mark. The young ruckman taken in the mid-season draft. Sends that kick down the line. Coming out and getting hands to the ball there was Carey. Couldn't take the mark. Kent tried to feed that hand pass through towards Paris. It ends up coming out towards Kyle, and then the hand pass coughed up. Goonan fed that one back. It'll be taken here by Smith. In fact, he's had his pocket picked, and then Josiah Kyle, trying to go with a banana on the run, has mishit that one and kicked it out of bounds on the full. Centering kick, probably the order of the day there. Casey ball in the back pocket.
Bryce Milford. Long kick toward this near side. Ryder from behind got a fist on it before Wiedemann could mark. Bouncing ball was picked up by White. Gave off the handball. They'll dump it out again here to Demons. High ball from Deacon Smith. Free kick. Non-controlling umpire. This time it goes Casey's way. And quickly taken by Van Rooyen towards half forward. Wiedemann working back. And look at this. An absolute paddock for Mitch Brown. He will stroll in for another easy Casey Demons goal. And that's now 4 for Mitch Brown to go with his 11 marks.
Yeah, 11 marks, 15 touches, 4 goals, 3 from a it's a floating full forward / centre half forward. It's been an outstanding game. There's still quite a bit of time left for him to add to that. And just those numbers through the midfield. So Munro up to 19, Dunstan 18, Baker 17. You've got Howe with 15, Deacon Smith 15. So they're just getting far too much ball for Sandringham. It's Connolly 15, and he's only had 2 in this quarter. Windhager's probably been their standout in this term. Around the grounds as well, North Melbourne 8-11-59, lead West Coast 5-6-36, 23-point lead late in the third quarter. We'll give you a summary of those other VFL results too in a moment. Ryder going up in the ruck there with Dorr. Dorr tackled, gets a kick away though. Left foot snap up towards attacking 50. Mark taken by Donnell at centre half back. Floats the kick out wide. Picked up there by Geary, who goes on the left foot out to the path of Kent, but it just kept running on and over for a throw in.
Let's have a look at what's happening around the grounds. 2 games already complete today in Smithy's VFL footy. Richmond, too good for Southport at Punt Road, 16-4-100 to 10-9-69. Super accurate, the Tigers in that one. We had a thriller as well between Collingwood and Box Hill in a high-scoring affair. Collingwood by 2 points over Box Hill, 18-4-112 to 17-8-110. So plenty of accurate kicking around the ground so far in the VFL. Another live score that we'll get to shortly between GWS and Port Melbourne. Good fist on the ball there, but still a chance for Carey. Hand pass off. McHale with the left foot. Snap. That's going to be a goal for Sandringham. Only their 6th of the day. And it's Jack McHale getting the job done as we just round up what's happening around the grounds. GWS is currently leading Port Melbourne 5-8-38 to 3-3-21. One more game to come in round 1 at Arden Street. It'll be North Melbourne taking on Williamstown. That one's going to be kicking off in just a touch over an hour from now.
So the West Coast Eagles are 6-6-42 in that other game, and Willie Rioli has kicked 4. So imagine where the Eagles would have been had he have been suspended out of last week's contest. Casey 14-7-91, Sandringham 6-6-42. Zebras get their first goal of the quarter just to stem the bleeding. Ryder and Dorr in the middle, another errant bounce. That one probably should have been recalled, but waved on by the umpire at this stage of the game. Good hands through there. Hodgson gets it onto the right boot. That'll be a relayed free kick. He was caught high. Like it was after the kick. Yes, it has been elevated down the ground. So umpire directing that one down towards attacking 50. So that ball should, by rights, go to Locke, who was to Kyle rather, who was in the closest position to that. So Kyle has it about 51 metres out. Umpire's been a bit generous with the player on the mark too. It looked like it was closer to attacking 50 than that. Kyle's had the one shot at goal from the opposite pocket in the second term, which he kicked out of bounds on the full, and he had a hurried shot before, which he kicked out of bounds on the full. So this one, a much better look at goal from the corridor. Kick from right on the paint of 50. It's an ugly helicopter kick that's touched off hands and through for a behind. So 6-7-43 to 14-7-91. 48 points is the margin. Casey's lead. Baker with ball in hand to bring things back into play for Casey.
And again, only looking one way. And as has been the case with his other kick-ins in this third quarter, takes a bounce after running out of the square and then eventually sending it long toward the outer side in Majak Door territory. Demons coming away with this. Goonan's hand pass back toward the middle, but Donnell got in the way for Sandringham. Ball slipped through a couple of legs. Bedford missed the handball. Coming through now, Connolly dumped in the tackle by Bedford. Umpire says holding the ball. They've been hot on that today, the umpires. And a free kick going Casey's way. Bedford still down, mind you. Free kick's going to be claimed by Menez Wakefield. Bedford back up on his feet. And he's Wakefield going inside 50. Plenty of yellow shirts around this ball. Ball's fisted toward the line. Allison turns it over by hand. Here is Bedford. Goes outside of the boot. It happens again. Allison coughing it up to Bedford for the second time in this quarter. And Casey are kicking away yet again. Margins out to 54 points.
Well, Matthew Allison, unfortunately for him, who's obviously trying to put his name forward this year for higher honours. He's done some good things, but unfortunately just a few turnovers at ball in hand. Things that can be worked on. It's more about defensive craft. But certainly some of those options chosen and the execution has been found a bit wanting in the third term especially. Bedford now has 3. Sandringham doing largely as they please at the moment in total command.
James Munro still the leading ball getter on the ground. When you think about that, there's 16 AFL listed Demons out there. It's he from the VFL list that leads the way for disposals, 19 out.
Ryder wins that tap down and then might have tackled Munro high there. Casey will take it away once again via Goonan down towards Laurie, who delivers in the direction of leading target coming out there in Van Rooyen. Hurried high ball from Sandringham goes out wide. Munro kept on tracking that out towards that boundary line. Won't get the possession there as it's swept inboard. Windhager goes on the left foot on the bounce down towards Carey, who was pushing a long way up the ground. Ball with Casey as they manoeuvre their way towards half forward. Van Rooyen's hands were quick, probably a little too quick there. Now it's swept through. They'll go on the left towards the pocket, tracking back. Unable to take the mark there is Brown under pressure from Matthew Allison and over for a throw-in in the left forward pocket. A good day, Mitch Brown, 11 marks and 4 goals before three-quarter time. Tossed back in. Ryder trying to palm that down into the path of a teammate. Trying to do some fancy footwork there was Bedford, but ran out of room and will have a boundary throw-in.
Approaching three-quarter time now. Andrew umpire taking his time. Ryder just trying to slap it as far as he could. Seaton ended up with it for Sandringham. Kick toward McHale, but only had one arm to work with. He gets it back, but momentum was taking him over the line all along. Toby Bedford, by the way, he's sucking in the big ones at the moment. He wanted to come off after kicking that third goal a couple of minutes ago, but the bench told him to stay out, and he's probably one that's hanging for that three-quarter time siren. We've got a stoppage here. Still hunched over Toby Bedford. Wiedemann in ruck against Ryder. Ryder back to the voice of Owens, but he gets dumped immediately. Just don't know today with every tackle whether it's going to be holding the ball or not. Surely there was no prior opportunity there for Owens. Umpire throws it up once more. Ryder got rid of Wiedemann and then double tapped it toward the wing, but Casey had built the wall out the back there, and eventually it's cleared out by Baker. A very high ball and a very good mark by Mitch White, the skipper, leading by example. Left foot towards half forwards, okay as well. A bit of class there for the Demons. It ends up in the hands of Jacob Van Rooyen. On the 45, we'll have to kick it from just outside the arc, potentially after the three-quarter time siren here. Although it was a fairly long second quarter. Van Rooyen. He's got 2 goals, 1 to his name already today. Pretty careful approach. Kicks now on the way, but it's across the face. Minus score. 55 points is the lead for Casey.
Sandy to bring it in quickly and wide. Trying to manoeuvre their way through some traffic. Connolly takes the mark, though not the required 15, says the umpire, so he moves it on the left straight away. Down towards the wing position. Locke's hand pass was cut off. He'll get it back, though, and charge his way through. A little bit of a 1-2. Drives it long towards an open forward line. They need a good bounce here, the Sandringham side. Dean Kent in a 1-on-2 situation. Can't track back onto that as it's delivered up the middle of the ground to White, who slides the hand pass through, and Casey can run and link up through the centre corridor again. Munro sharing that one forward towards Goonan. Gives it to Dunstan. Dunstan will kick from a standing start. A wobbly ball into the pocket. Brown collides with a teammate. Front and centre, it was at Wakefield again, who gives it off towards Laurie, who kicks his second. And Casey topped the ton with that, 16-8, 104. Sandringham 6-7, 43. Margin 61 points.
Yep, they ton up before the three-quarter time siren. Now Quicks it gets a 50 as well. It's a dominant performance that we're seeing for Mark Corrigan's men today. You mentioned the second goal of the day for Laurie. Demons now have 5 multiple goal kickers for the game. 4 for Brown, 3 for Bedford, 2 each for Laurie, Van Ruyen and Mitch White.
Darby hit well onto the ground and into the centre bounce for Sandringham. Geary on the wing here.
Wiedemann's in ruck for Casey. That bounce favoured Hipwell a little too well there. So we'll go again. That's Max Heath in ruck. Gets it now. Can find an option by hand. That's picked up by Hodgson. Heath. High ball. Inside 50. Chris Carey was caught behind. No mark was taken. Ends up with... Well, it happens again. It ended up with Josiah Kyle, and the siren beats him. It wasn't a shot on goal anyway. It was just sort of a chipper ball toward the square, but that happened to Paddy Ryder in the first quarter.